Good evening and welcome to a meeting of the Joint City Hartford Town and City Plan Committee. I'd like to call this meeting to order. You guys have before you the minutes of the October 13th, 2025 meeting. Any questions or comments?
Minutes are good. I'll make a motion to accept.
We have a motion, a second,
I'll second.
and a second. Any final discussion or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Minutes pass. Third item on the agenda is appearances. Anyone wishing to appear? Oh, my goodness. Because we can hear ourselves
Yeah,
very well.
we're echoing.
Yeah. It's like the sound is coming back at us.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hello, Woody Gentle with Home Path Financial. I'm here in support of our annexation of the two parcels into the city that are located in the Fairway Meadows subdivision.
Super, thank you. Anyone else wishing to appear?
Is anyone looking to appear in front of? Okay, you can, speak.
Evening.
State your name and address.
I'm Rupert Linder, 3910 Cricket Drive, Hartford. My land, my house abuts up next to the property that wants to be annexed. And I have some concerns. What is actually going to happen to this property? It's mixed residential. Is this just going to be green space?
Just FYI, this is not a question and answer. This is your comment period.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd like to leave the land just the way it is. I've been living at this location for 41 years with my wife, and we enjoy the country, rural atmosphere, and that has changed greatly with the new subdivision going in. This last little piece of land has wildlife, abundant wildlife. We enjoy watching it. We're concerned if this land is going to be developed, that there's going to be construction, equipment and traffic going in and out of our subdivision. It's always been real quiet, and it is not quiet anymore. We've had road graders and bulldozers and all the trees that were cut down. There was a beautiful hickory tree right behind my neighbor's house. I watched that grow for 41 years, and I got to watch it fall by the chainsaw, and it was a sad day to see that tree go. The woods over there in Zerns Woods has been decimated. To see what happened to that woods, I used to walk in that woods, I used to hunt in that woods, and now it's gone. It's useless as far as wildlife goes, and excuse me, I'm getting a little emotional here. I'd like to know if the road reservation has been removed, as I saw on this letter I just got, that runs east and west along the north end of our properties. I had a garage built in 1997. I had to go through a shoreline permitting process alongside with the building permit, and the town of Hartford I petitioned the town of Hartford and had that removed so I could build this garage. And the survey that came out before this with the development had the road reservation in it. And now this last one we got about this annexation, it's not there anymore. So I have no idea. Is the city gonna come along down the line and say, hey, look, we're gonna put a road in here? You gotta tear your garage down? That's one of my major concerns right there. And once this annexation goes through, like I know it is, are they going to come along my fence line and take out half the brush and trees like they did on the rest of that development across the way from us? This is virgin territory here. Nobody's done anything with this land as long as I've been there. Werner Zern used to be the farmer that owned that, and he was a great conservationist. He used to run trap line all along the river and in the area, and now it's all going away. Everything's going away. Okay. And when I had to have this garage built and I put an addition on my house, I had to go to the county and get a shoreline permit. Has the developer gotten a shoreline permit for this annexation, for anything they're planning on doing? I'd like to know that too. And I guess that's all my concerns. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else wishing to appear?
Yes, I am Jenny Feiner. I live across the street from Rupert. I've lived there for 19 years, and I agree with him on everything that he had said. But my biggest concern is that area is a flood area. My property gets a river in it every single spring. My sump pump runs continuously. Last year, or the year before, it ran from May through September, nonstop. I had it running, it was running every 30 seconds just to keep water out of my basement. If I don't have a battery backup for that, my basement would have been flooded. I had to constantly keep an eye on it. Now with the property that they put in behind me, now they have a retention pond directly behind my house. Where the water comes out of the retention pond is right in the corner of our property where all the water from the farm field used to come into my yard. So my biggest concern now is where's all that water from the retention pond gonna end up? And along the north side where you're looking at now, that also is a flood area. That property ends up with water every single spring. And when they tore out all the brush in the fence line, they ended up finding my extension sump pump hose, which was in the fence line on my property, and it ran from my house all the way down to the corner just to get the water out of my property so that it would not end up in my basement. And they damaged that sump pump hose, and they threw it back into the fence line that was my fence line after they destroyed the rest of the fence line. So my concern is, where's all this water gonna go? And I agree with Rupert with the countryside. I have more turkeys in my yard now because they disrupted their nests. I see foxes, which I've never seen before. I got a woodchuck in my yard now that I didn't have before. So I am getting all these animals coming into my yard because they took their homes away from them when they developed this other part of the subdivision. So if they develop this part, which butts up against the river, I'm sure we're gonna end up with more problems with animals. So those are my concerns. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, any other appearances? All right, seeing none. On to item 4, the discussion regarding the petition for direct annexation by unanimous consent submitted by Home Path Financial Limited Partnership for approximately 9.024 acres and 11.788 acres, parcel T6031000Y and T6030500Z, located north of Cricket Drive in the town of Hartford. Jacob?
All right, again, yeah, Home Path Financial Limited Partnership is looking to annex the two parcels. The two parcels together make up 11.788 acres of land. This is the whole Fairways Meadows subdivision. The two parcels along the Rubicon River there on the east side, those are the parcels that are to be annexed into the city to be a part of the Fairview Meadows subdivision. This is the preliminary plat that was approved by the Common Council back in earlier this year. I can't remember the exact date, but they were approved in the earlier part of this year. I believe January 28th is when Fairway Meadows was approved. This is the area that is being final platted right now. which abuts the lands to the lands to the north are the parcels that are going to be annexed. But going back to this, the final plat here, nothing will be coming off of Cricket. Cricket will be a dead end, Cricket Road. What they're looking to, or proposing to do is to loop the subdivision around and have everything come out through the Mount Vernon subdivision onto Hilldale. So again, nothing will be on Cricket. At this site, there will be sewer, water, and electrical services available once the area is petitioned and annexed in as part of the subdivision development. The valuation impact, T6-030500Z has an assessed value of $7,200 in 2025, and T6-031000Y has an assessed value of $5,800 in 2025. So pursuant to Wisconsin state statutes, the city would be required to pay the town of Hartford town taxes on T6-030500Z and T6-031000Y for 5 years. So approximately $10.27 for T6-030500Z per year and $8.58 for T6-031000Y per year. The annexation would allow the property owner to develop the Fairway Meadows school service impact. The annexation will allow the creation of this loop, which would create approximately 10 additional single-family homes as part of the subdivision. Looking at the average family size of Hartford, which is 3.8, 1.8 being then children, 1.8 times 10, that's about 18 children into the school district based off of just this annexation alone. This area is already serviced by police, fire, and EMS because the vast majority of the Zern Farm property that runs north and south there had already been annexed prior to my arrival. It's been a couple years since it's been annexed in. As part of the annexation, generally, if it's not requested at time of rezoning, it's rezoned to A1 upon annexation. The developer is requesting R2, low-density mixed residential. So this will all be single-family homes on these properties. Again, they will not be connecting to the town's subdivision to the southeast of this subdivision. And it is within the 20-year service sewer boundary by sewer pack. So the city is recommending approval for the petition of direct annexation by unanimous consent for the 11.78 acres located on taxes T6-030500Z and T6-031000Y in the town of Hartford.
Thanks, Jacob. Per the way the joint city of Hartford, town of Hartford Plan Committee is set up, this is for discussion only. But any discussion? Go ahead.
I'm curious, is there any plan to connect to Logan Drive or Ernst?
The Logan Drive portion will be the northern portion. That will be separate. That's about 20 units to the north of there. But there is, as you can see on the preliminary plat here, there is a lot of floodplain, and there's actually what we would consider wetlands that are under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, which makes it tougher to do wetland mitigation. So that's why there is no connection here. They didn't want to deal, and I don't blame them for wanting to deal with the Army Corps of Engineers, but they are complying with the 100-year floodplain codes of NR 116, as well as our floodplain codes, and also 40 CFR 60.3 of the Federal Register of Codes, or the CFR, or the Congressional Federal Register of Codes. So we are making sure that they do that. They are doing some of the wetlands here that are not part of the Army Corps. They are required to get permits for filling in wetlands through the DNR. So again, any of their permits would be through the DNR, and they have done their notice of intent. Again, right now, they're mostly done the southern portion here on that southern third property on the south there. That's where they're currently developing. Again, there's a lot of area that they're not touching, again, due to wetlands, and again, concerns with the Army Corps of Engineers. So there's quite a bit of, they're well aware of the environmental concerns in this area. They're complying with NR 151 in regards to stormwater discharge for that. Their plans are being reviewed or have been reviewed by our city engineering staff and our stormwater engineer to make sure that they're complying with NR 151, as well as the EPA's total suspended solids and phosphorus requirements under the Rock River TMDL requirements, which also usually adds extra floodplain reduction or runoff reduction because you're trying to capture that phosphorus and total suspended solids. So usually you're actually more stringent than the NR 151 because you are trying to comply with the DNR standards for those as well as EPA's.
So to Mr. Linder's point, did they obtain a shoreland permit from the county for this?
Once it's in the jurisdiction of the city, they don't have to go through the county.
Of course, we all know sitting here, it is currently not in the jurisdiction of the city. It is
Correct.
still
And they haven't
in the
developed any.
jurisdiction
Yeah.
of the town of
Correct.
Hartford. And there
Correct.
is activity and development happening on that property. It has not come before our plan commission.
Okay.
We have not issued any permits, but yet I see work being done there.
That I was not aware of.
I went and visited there today.
Okay.
So I'm a little concerned about that.
Yeah, they got the cart before the horse here. You know, it hasn't been annexed, and there's no permits, and they're working.
Yes. So, at the end of the day, will this likely be transferred to the city? Yeah, but as Jim just stated, the cart is before the horse. Proper protocol here would have been to follow with the town of Hartford if you're going to start working and get the proper permits and then do the work, which
Or
in our
annex it,
case
yeah,
would have
or-
included a shoreland permit from the county.
Yeah, or wait until it's annexed and then begin work.
Correct.
You know, and it's just a bad precedence. It shouldn't happen that way. The city didn't issue any permits, I assume.
Well, for the two houses on the southern end, we have done building permits.
You issued permits for town property?
No, city property. The three
That
parcels
was a
that were
previous
annexed
annex.
Yeah, that was, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I understand that, yeah.
Yeah.
But you haven't issued anything,
on the town portion, no.
yeah, so, they're working out there without permits. Apparently, sounds like it.
Yeah, so, technically, this should have went to our zoning administrator, got reviewed, permits issued for whatever work was going to be done. Otherwise, annex the thing before you start. And I'm not, certainly it's not this commission, or it's not you, Jacob, but I just find it a little irresponsible to act in bad faith.
It probably wouldn't hurt to check that, Jacob.
I will talk to the county tomorrow.
Thank you.
Now with that said, we're certainly understand the way the world here works.
It's.
That covers my comments.
Yeah, it's gonna be annexed, but they should have waited to start the work until it was annexed.
Correct.
I do kind of wonder what under the scope of the work they do constitutes something of development or just clearing of the land if, like I said, what scope is
Yeah,
covered
what-
under
to what-
what's
yeah,
under
They
that
started
would
the
have
site
to-
work.
Yeah, cutting down trees generally doesn't require any permits.
True. I think there's some grading that's gone on though.
That I can't speak to, yeah.
And the grading does require permits.
And
Like I
there's
said,
penalties
Jacob.
for doing work without a permit.
The town has penalties, yes.
Okay.
So
I'll speak
again,
to the
if you
county
could take a
tomorrow.
look.
But I was not aware that they were, my thoughts were all towards the southern portion that was final plating, that the final plats will be going in front of the common council in December here, December 8th or whatever is when.
Yeah, I would say that, I went to the end of Cricket Drive where Mr. Linder and Ms. Feiner live, and you can clearly see there's grading done there. There's a silt fence in. which made me wonder if there was a shoreland permit. I checked, I didn't call the county, but I did check the public records, and I did not see one issued for either property.
Yeah, I went out here in summer, but I don't think construction had started even on the southern portion here on Mount Vernon Drive.
Yeah,
Thanks for your input, guys.
yeah.
Anything further?
I do not have anything.
All right. Then the last item on our agenda is adjournment. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.